It was Black Friday at Mega Safe's Super Warehouse, and I was under arrest. The store security handed me over to city law and safety officers after me and a wench I call Ms. SUV, with her road hogging monster, had an altercation in the parking lot. 2 officers took me to a police station, and one of them brought me to a small room with some ugly plastic and metal chairs and side tables. It also had an adjudication booth, which looked like a tall, wide, frosted glass upright coffin. The officer took off the handcuffs she put on me at the store and told me to step into the booth. When the officer closed the door, this scary monster voice from nowhere told me, place both palms of your hands on the panel facing in front of you for a fingerprint stand. So I did that. After a few seconds, the voice said, remove your hands and drop them at your sides. I did that too. And then the voice said, hold still for full body scan and imaging. I had to stand there for what seemed like forever in the silence of that glass coffin before the voice said, scan and imaging done. Right after that, the wall in front of me showed the live video of a judge who told me I was charged with assault and battery. And if I wanted to plead in the booth, they'd send me live video of a public defender I could talk to. Even though I was scared out of my mind, I still managed to ask the judge what would happen if I didn't plead right then and there. She said because I had a violent felony charge, I'd be put on law watch and a disabler, no matter what I plead or whether I plead that day or ask for another arraignment hearing. I told the judge, I want to plead not guilty. I don't need to talk to a lawyer first for that, do I? She said no, so I pleaded, and the judge set my trial for January 11th. Then she pronounced my order of adjudication, putting me on law watch and a restraining order with a disabler to protect me from protect the victim, Ms. SUV. After the hearing was done, the officer let me out of the booth and ordered me to sit on one of the chairs next to a side table. She told me another officer was coming to give me the law watch and disabler nanobot shots. When that officer came, he brought a metal tray that he put on the table next to me. The injectors were on the tray, looking like a pair of glass tubes about the length of drinking straws, but they were thinner. One end of the tube was covered with a 1-inch square flat wrapper, a neon green wrapper on one tube and a hot pink one on the other. Lying next to the tubes was a pair of thin black gloves, which the dude officer picked up and put on his hands. Place your arms on the armrest of this chair with your palms facing up, he ordered me. As I did that, he picked up the tube with the green wrapper and with his left hand and pinched and pulled off the wrapper with his right. He then dropped the wrapper on the tray, pulled down a right sleeve, placed the end of the tube against my arm below my wrist and held it there really quick. I didn't feel a thing except for dull pressure of a blunt glass stick against my skin. When the officer removed the tube and put it on the tray, he said, judicial tracking administered. Then he picked up the other tube, took it off its wrapper, and did everything he had done to my right arm to my left one. Disabler administered, he said when he was done. From that moment on, I was a walking, talking, audio-video recorder with GPS tracking, thanks to the nanobots the cop shot at me, along with the disabler nanobots that will alert my personal comm if I came within 200 feet of this SUV and tell me which way to go to avoid her. If I disobeyed the warnings, my body would be paralyzed and the cops would come and get me. Shot up with the disabler and the nanobots, I was allowed to leave the police station. When my assigned attorney told me I could get 6 months of medication, therapy, and law watch for free before a plea, I told him I didn't accept being doped and shrinked, but I can't do law watch and keep my job. I've never been arrested in my life. I had 0 criminal record until stupid Black Friday. I can't get nothing better than that. He told me he could try to offer doping and shrinking with a continuation of the restraining order, including the disabler, for a year's time, with my offering to allocute to the facts of the case and express remorse in public court. Well, I'll be crying and lying to the judge then. Because even though I know what I did was wrong, I don't feel any real remorse. In fact, I feel downright justified for what I did. Miss SUV started it. I finished it. Anyway, that was 3 weeks ago. I'm on unpaid leave for my home-based online customer service job. The company's worried about me giving up trade secrets and customer information to the law. My friends and most of my family don't want any communication with me recorded by the law. My ex-wife, Maeve, who has our kids, isn't taking my calls either, but that's no surprise. My getting adjudicated and being put on law watch is the perfect justification for keeping me from seeing our 2 kids. So I got no job, no kids at home, and right now no communication with nobody. The only person who calls me now, beside my lawyer, or visits me or lets me visit, is my mama. Today though, Mama's not even taking my calls, even though it's Sunday, and I know she don't go nowhere on Sunday mornings. The only time she's ever incommunicado is sundown Friday to sundown Saturday. She's a Seventh-day Adventist who doesn't do nothing but what's holy on the Sabbath. I need to see my kids, and I need to talk to my mama, and I need to get out of this apartment. I'm going to Mama's place to see what's going on with her. If she's not there, I'm going to my ex's house. I don't care if she gets mad. I should at least get video calls from Umoja and Angus. You've always say to each other is hi, I love you, and bye. They're the only reasons why I was at Mega Safe's Super Warehouse on Black Friday in the first place. I get dressed and leave my apartment. After taking the elevator to the first floor, I use my personal comm to call Jet, my black sedan, and tell it to start up and come and park at the garage exit where I would meet it. Jet arrives at the exit and opens its left front door. I get in, close the door, put on my seatbelt, and tell Jet to take me to Mama's apartment complex. When I get there, I direct Jet to take me to the main entrance and stop there. I get out. Walk through the front doors, walk to the main entrance, to the front doors, and into a short hallway that face another pair of locked doors. A blank video screen is on one of the doors at eye level. I speak to it. Yolanda Yancey, 234. The video screen speaks back to me. Who's calling? Zora. The video screen displays words calling with Mama's name and apartment number. I wait a few seconds, then Mama's face shows on the screen. Zora, oh honey, what's going on? She says, I'm here to go ask what's going on with you. I've been blowing up your comm all morning. Oh, dang. She shakes her head and her brow wrinkles. She looks like she's worried about something. Let me meet you downstairs, she said. You don't have to do that, Mom. I can come up. Oh, no. I need to meet you downstairs. The screen goes blank. What's going on with her? Why won't she let me come up? If I know my mama better, I'd think she had a man friend up there with her. I wait for 5 minutes until the locked doors open and Mama walks through. She immediately throws her arm around my shoulder and says, here, let's go outside. As she leads me back through the main entrance. Mama, what's up? I'm really confused now. Why'd you come all this way down here? I could have just came up. I don't need to stay long if you don't want that. It's not that, she says as she guides me out to the stand near my car. She then faces me and looks straight into my eyes while holding my shoulders in her hands. Angus and Umoja are here. What? I'm all excited and happy. Maeve brought them over yesterday right at sunset for them to stay the night, but that's great. Let me go up there and see them. Honey, listen. Mama uses her grip on my shoulders to shake me a little. Maeve told me I can't let you see them. She, what? I'm sorry, honey. Mama lets go of me. She told me that if I let you see them, that means she can't trust me to keep them away from being on the law watch with you. So I won't get to see them no more. Oh, hell no. How dare that high and mighty heifer threaten my mama with not seeing her grandkids. I take mama into my arms, hug her, and kiss her quickly before letting her go. I'm sorry, mama. Tell the kids I was here and I love them. I step over to my car, open it, and get in with a slam of the door. Jet, take me to May's house. When I get to that heifer's house, I park Jet on the street, jump out, run up to the front door, and bang on it with my fist. I ain't even thinking about using that door greeter screen. Maeve, get your butt out here right now. Right now, damn it. Damn it, get your butt out here right now. She comes out and stands in front of me at the door, begging me to calm down, keep quiet. I ain't calming down nothing. You don't go threatening to take my mama's grandkids away from her. Oh, don't tell me you didn't say that to her. She told me you did, and I know you did. You got me screwed up with that mess. You don't upset and disrespect my mama like that. You must be out of your mind. Oh no. A city law and safety squad cruiser just pulled up into May's driveway. 2 cops get out of the cruiser, and one of them says to me, "Zora Yancey, come with me, please." What? What did I do? I didn't do nothing. "Come over here, please," the cop ordered me again. So I walked over to her, and she stands next to the cruiser while the other cop goes to talk to Maeve. The cop with me says, "You're under adjudication, so I'm going to ask you what's happening here. You can tell me the truth, or you can sit in the back of my cruiser as I watch the video from judicial monitoring." The video will tell you I wasn't doing nothing. This woman's husband called the police. "Why do you think he did that?" the cop said. "Because he knows I'm on law watch and knows that y'all come running when somebody calls about somebody on law watch." I tell the cop what May and I were arguing about, saying that they needed to go arrest her husband for calling in a false police report, because he knows my law watch will prove him a lie for calling the cops on me. The cop who's talking to Maeve tells the partner that he and Maeve are going inside to talk to her lying husband. So I have to stand out here with this cop and wait. After I don't know how long, the other cop comes out of Maeve's house and calls his partner over. The cop with me tells me to stay by the cruiser as she goes to see what he wants. They talk for a while out of my earshot, and then they walk back to the cruiser. The dude cop starts telling me that they see that there's a family dispute between me, my ex-wife, and her husband. I tell them it's between my ex-husband and my ex-wife and me. Those are me and my ex-wife's kids. Her husband's got nothing to do with nothing. The cop keeps talking, going on about, though there's no evidence that I committed a crime, my ex and her husband don't want me here, so I should just get in my car and leave. Oh, and May's lying husband doesn't get arrested for making a false police report? No, and you and possibly your ex don't get arrested for disturbing the police, the dude cop says. But they're keeping me from having any contact with my kids. I got the right to my kids. You can't arrest them for violating my rights. That's a civil matter, ma'am, the fem cop says. As long as they don't leave this jurisdiction with your children without your consent, there's no crime. The dude cop tells me again to leave the area. They don't want me parking Jet across the street from my ex's house, staking them out or stalking them. If we were to arrest you, I guarantee you that as an adjudicated subject, a judge will place you on house arrest. You don't want that, do you? The fem cop says. Do I want the nanobots reprogrammed so I get paralyzed if I step 1 foot out of my apartment? Hell no. Of course I don't say all that. I just shake my head. Of course not, the film cop says. So let's not go down that road. You get in your car and leave, all right? Fine. I run over to my car and get in. Jet, take me home. As Jet pulls off, I climb into the back seat and lie down so the other riders on the road won't see me. Jet will look just like another riderless car as I cry and scream and curse and beat the back of my front seat with my fists without anyone seeing me, except the law watch. The law watch will see my backseat carpet, my yelling at my ex-wife, along with my Mega Save Super Warehouse security video footage of me jumping out of my car and jumping on this SUV. They'll see it all. They'll know it all. And I am losing it all.